SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Does that tree have you worried? Want to get it cut down before the next storm? You need to call Max Tree Service and Land Management for your free estimate. Don't wait till it's too late. Call us today at 601-695-1717 or check us out on Facebook. Max Tree Service.
Your towns, your team, your source. That's Y'all Sports. I'm Cliff Burr, the Y'all and Y'all Sports. Joined as always by my buddy and co-host Brendan Shamatara here on Y'all Sports Radio. And we're also joined by our buddy Randy behind the board. And Brandon, doesn't it feel good to be back in the SuperTalk 102.1 offices and studio and down? I'm rusty, Brandon. I'm rusty. We didn't record a show last week. We recorded 2 the week before. Brandon had some vacation plans, took the old camper up to the ancestral home of Panola County and spent some time up there. If you listened to the show last week, we had Coach Trey Woodard on, had a really fun conversation with him. Trey is a good friend of mine that just doesn't take much for him to sit down with me and for us to look up, and we've been yapping for 30 minutes. Just a fun time with Coach Trey Woodard last week, right, Brandon?
Oh, man, had a blast. And just I've known Coach Woodard for a while, just, talking to him, about Enterprise football and on. And, of course, my daughter went to school there when we first moved here because that's where we live, out in that area. And so got to know him a little bit, but I didn't really kind of peel back the layers of the onion, so to say, until our show last week, and just had a blast getting to know him and, just hearing his heart for his players. Man, what a special guy and what a special opportunity he has there at Enterprise High School. Yeah,
he's definitely made an impact in his time there. And Trey, as he said on the show, he's kind of nearing retirement age, but he still loves it, still loves pouring into the kids and being invested in their lives. One thing they do that we talked about on the show last week was they go down to Lake Percy Quinn. They do a little retreat. Their last couple practices of the summer, their last couple, well, technically I guess call them workouts of the summer, they go down there. Went down there last year. It was one of the very first things I covered for Y'all Sports. We're coming up on 1 year of Y'all Sports on August 2nd. And I'm going to go down there next week, and I'm going to check them out again. They take their fishing poles. They fish. There's a little pool there where they swim. And that's going to be my last stop, Brandon. The 16 high schools that I cover in a 5-county coverage area. I've tried in the last couple of weeks to hit workouts at every single one. I just got back. The Prius was blowing in the wind on the way back coming down 84. I went to Monticello this morning, and I checked out a little workout over there. They've got a first-year head coach, Josh Milton. I've got a Pike County day planned a little bit later this week. Well, I'll go down and hit North Pike and Park Lane in the mornings, and then South Pike and Macomb in the afternoons. But you'll see something about that on Y'all Sports. I'm just really interested, Brandon, in how everybody does it a little bit different, right? Everybody has a little bit different time slot. Everybody has a little bit different plan. But I just enjoy seeing the work be put in by the kids because, football season starts in late August, and it's like I told some kids out at West Lincoln the other day, you can't fake it, man. You can't fake it. You can't show up. If you show up on August 28th under those Friday night lights and you say, okay, we're ready to play, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Talk to me about cramps, Brandon.
Oh, man, cramps. The reality is as hard, you could work as hard as you want to, as hard as you possibly could throughout the summer, and then when those lights come on Friday night, you're still going to have cramps. And it's just something to be said about the Friday night lights and the actual game that makes you try a little bit harder.
Yeah.
You can bust your behind all summer long and quote unquote try as hard as you can, but when those lights come on, there's a different tick that happens, and it's just the nerves, this excitement, all the
Mama's
things.
in the bleachers. You run through the paper to get out there. The cheerleaders are cheering. You got eyes on you.
Cramps are going to happen, and of course, I would love to, after this episode airs, and it gets put out on social media, love to hear some of the stories from some of our 2 million listeners.
That's right.
And about how their coaches used to handle cramps. You got the old salt pills.
That's right.
The pickle juice.
Yes.
The bananas.
Mustard.
Oh, man. Just
I'm not a big mustard guy, and so I'll be on the sideline and there'll be kids with a mustard packet in one side of their mouth and pouring pickle juice down the other, and I'll be like, man, miss me with that.
I know we don't have time today, but at some point I want to recap my trip to. I've had a pretty busy 3 weeks. As you know, you hadn't seen me at church on the past 2 Sundays.
We haven't moved your membership. We haven't. You're still a member at Heights Retreat.
One of our members reached out to me yesterday, and he said, Hey, brother, everything good? Question mark. And I'm like, yeah, brother, we're good. But anyway, so at the tennis meet for our local 2.5
That's right.
tennis group.
You went to Georgia,
went on
right?
the sectionals in South Carolina.
And
anyway, we're talking about mustard here. Those girls were out there with mustard packs about halfway through their matches and just shooting mustard and drinking pickle juice. And all that stuff works. And we're talking about cramps here. I mean, the reality is, Cliff, and you know this, you don't prevent cramps the day of.
Boom.
That is something that, again, all your work through the summer and hydrating days before and carbing up days before the actual event. And so if you're a player out there listening, hey, I've seen coaches get cramps on the sidelines, brother.
Oh yeah. You gotta prepare. You gotta prepare
days ahead.
You gotta prepare way ahead of time. And I'm feeling convicted right now actually, because I'm trying to think, when was the last time I did anything that would give me a cramp?
Yeah.
And it's been a minute, but a couple of years ago I ran a half marathon, and I remember hearing that about a couple of days ahead of time and what that looks like. And so if I knew that if I did not hydrate properly and use liquid IV, which is so salty, but it's great for you, that if I didn't do that when I got a couple days later, if I was running and my legs felt heavy, it was like, dude, you haven't done the work in the hydration. And that's one cool thing to see is so many coaches are giving kids liquid IV. We've come a long way from the days of
the powder.
Or a piece of PVC pipe with holes punched in it, a little bit of water squirting out. And it's like, boys, go get you a sip and then get back over here and get after it. It feels like hydration is something that coaches have to take seriously, because this Mississippi heat is nothing to play with.
The stories from the old timers out there, and that you would hear them say, we had one water break per practice. Or we didn't even get water till after practice.
I swear, I think global warming. I wish I could get in a time machine and go back and feel like how.
Oh man.
Yeah, it might have been hot, but I'm telling you, it feels like. I think of that in my own life sometimes, Brandon. I can remember going to a game at Kapai Academy when I was in ninth grade at Brookhaven Academy in September and wearing a light jacket.
Yeah,
I looked it up.
Wow.
I looked it up once because I was like, is this a Mandela effect? Am I really? Did this really happen? And it did. Yeah. I mean, but nobody's wearing a light jacket around here anytime soon.
No.
Our speaking of church, our buddy Allison Wallace, she was in Yellowstone last week, and the thing that I took away from the pictures and the things that she posted was she had a light jacket on one. I said, man, if you could wear a light jacket in July, that's the goal right there, dog.
I want to visit out there.
Yeah. I've been to Alaska. You been to Alaska?
No.
Dude, we would thrive in Alaska.
Oh, man. The first time I went to Colorado was on a ski trip, and when I got out there, of course, I was still coaching football at that point, and my wife and I took a trip, one of our bucket list things before we had kids, and when we came into Colorado and I saw all the snow in the springtime, I was like, I wonder if they have any openings out here.
Yeah.
I could live here.
I could sell insurance here for sure. Yeah. Well, hey, we love Southwest Mississippi. We're here. We're not going anywhere. This is where we call home. We're just a couple of big sweaty dudes that just have to deal with it. And shout out to all the football players. Shout out to the band. I was at Bogue Chitto the other day watching them run the hill, and I saw my guy Drew Different out there getting the Bogue Chitto band practice field lined off. Bogachita, if you don't know, great band. They play some of my favorite Cash Money hits from the Hot Boys and the Big Timers and Juvenile. If you go to a Bogachita game, and you're an elder millennial like me, they're going to definitely scratch the itch that you're looking for when it comes to the song selection. And, it's that time of year, and it's football time of year, but it's also, in Southwest Mississippi, it's volleyball time of the year.
Yes.
We had Coach Hannah Nelson on here earlier, plan on getting to Kapaliki Community College and catching a practice real soon. She's got a lot of exciting things going on there. And then we're going to have, today on the show, we're going to have, I'll call her the most successful volleyball coach in Southwest Mississippi, our buddy Kat Wilson. And I'm not just saying that because Coach Kat brought us a T-shirt, although that doesn't hurt. She walked in bearing gifts, and I now am the proud owner of a Lady Hornet volleyball shirt and going to rock that thing with pride.
And I asked her, she brought me one too, and I said, hold on, did you give Cliff one? Because, Cliff is the brains behind this operation. I wanted to be sure that you got yours.
Oh,
right?
Brandon, you're such a charitable guy. But yeah, she brought two of them.
Kat is officially my favorite guest at this point, and if you want to up that, you want to be my favorite guest in the future, bring me a hat or something.
Hey,
be sure it's extra large.
I'll take all gear, okay? I'll take even like ancient gear that's just been sitting around in a box somewhere.
Retro.
409 Storm Avenue, Brookhaven, Mississippi, 39601.
Here come the stalkers. One of you 2 million are going to be after him. I know, just looking through his windows, watching him study sports.
Mail it care of y'all sports team. My front windows are wide open. The only time we close is when we watch Game of Thrones. We close those curtains when we watch Game of Thrones. Don't want the neighbors to see anything that might shock them. Exactly, yeah. But you can send me gear. I would love if somebody would send me something. I'm going to just make my own possum bowl gear if I have to, but I love the angry possum art that gets put on the possum bowl gear, and we'll talk the volleyball possum bowl. We'll talk about the upcoming volleyball season for Kat in year one. Her team made the playoffs in the first year of the program, reached the second round. They love softball. They love volleyball. I'm sorry. I do this every time. They love volleyball at Loyd Star, and Coach Kat's a big reason.
To be fair, they love softball too.
They do love softball, right? And Kat has
love football. Just a ball school. Come on, Loyd Star.
And Kat has a hand in softball as well. We'll talk about it as well when we come back next on Y'all Sports Radio. We've got Coach Kat Wilson in studio with us.
Looking for the perfect, unique gift? Visit Juan's Seed Store at 636 Greenview Trail in Brookhaven. Discover our stunning waxed amaryllis bulbs. Simply place and watch them grow. Soy lotion candles from Waveland Candle Company provide an eco-friendly clean burn and provide a moisturizing scented lotion when burning. Sippy Scents out of Pearl has created the most intense fragrances for detergents, cleaners, room sprays, and oils. Shop these selections and more today at Juan's Seed Store.
Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call Sam Ballard today at 601-669-5999. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
All right, we're back on Y'all Sports Radio, and before I get started with our guest today, Coach Kat Wilson, I want to give a shout-out to our sponsors who, without them, this would not be possible. Bank of Brookhaven, Toyota of Brookhaven. You just heard our buddy Brandon Shamatara from State Farm Insurance. You'll hear him all show long, as well as Sam Ballard with Good Hope Land and Timber. And when this thing goes online and you can listen to it in podcast form, hey, it's in your phone right now, whether you know it or not. Go to the podcast, search Y'all Sports Radio, and subscribe. If you do that, that's thanks to our friends at Juan Seed Store. They're more than a seed store at Juan Seed Store. Just drove past it today, and I swear, Brandon, it looks like every day that thing is growing and growing, and it is just a
hey, I've been in there.
Yeah.
They're more than just a seed
store.
They are.
They are.
And they have outstanding apparel if you're in the hunting, or even if you're just in the fashion, some nice fashion stuff. And, hey, got me some Bifin, some bug spray, sprayed around my shop, sprayed inside my campers. You can get it all out there.
You're always on the cutting edge of everything. That's one thing I like about you. You're not an online shopper. You're an in-store
we shop local
guy.
brother.
That's right.
We shop local unless it's not here. Yeah. I mean, unless it's just something we can't get our hands on from a local business. And I mean that to the bottom of my heart.
I know you do. Well, look, we got Coach Kat Wilson on with us. I've known Kat for a long time. Got to watch her play softball at Wesson. She was on a really fun softball team there that was really good. Kat, your senior class, it was you, Natalie Bonds was in that senior class, Anne Claire Crow. Tell me who else was in that.
Shelby Maxwell, Katie McSwain, and Avery Douglas.
Yeah, a bunch of future college athletes. Kat went on, played softball at Colin, and then Kat, did you know you always wanted to go into coaching? Tell me about your journey into coaching.
No, actually, I wanted to start out in accounting.
Okay.
And I actually did a year of that at Colin, and then got to Mississippi State and kind of realized this is not what I want to do at all. And so I talked to my mom a lot, and she was like, I really think you should go and think about teaching and coaching. So I actually reached out to Georgia Wilson at Puckett.
Okay.
I had played travel ball for her growing up, and she was like, well, come out and be my assistant this year. And so I helped her for one season, and that's when I really kind of nailed in that I want to do teaching and coaching, which then ultimately led me to Loyd Star. Yeah,
and so softball was your first love, obviously. You went to Weston, but they didn't start playing volleyball until after you graduated. So when you heard that Loyd Star was adding volleyball, was that one where you thought, hey, I want to give this a try?
Yes, and Coach Lofton approached me, and he was like, is this something you'd be interested? And I was like, yes. Granted, I've never played volleyball, but, I'm willing to learn, help the girls any way I can. And I just think with good coaching comes learning from me and then just pouring into the kids. And we learn together a lot. Yeah. We learned a lot together last year.
Kat, if folks don't know, there's a lot of rules in volleyball, and there's a lot of stats, yes. Brandon, she went in accounting because she didn't want to do, debits and credits. But, brother, when you look at a volleyball stat sheet, that mug looks like something an accountant would keep up with, because you have to, Kat, am I right? You have to keep up with every substitution.
Yes.
And there is a pattern. In layman's terms, Kat, talk to me like I'm stupid here, okay? So the strategy for a coach in volleyball is to make sure, because you rotate through, right? You got 3 on the front line, 3 on the back line. Right. You rotate through, and you want to make substitutions so that when your big girls are in the back, you get a smaller girl back there for them. And you always want to have a big girl, as many big girls you have, up front. Is that kind of the way it works?
Yes. So each girl kind of has their own role. For example, I have Maya Wyant. She's our libero, so she can only play defense, and she's probably one of the best defensive players I've seen. But when it's her turn to rotate to the front, that's when we bring in somebody like Maddie Kate or Samantha, who are our bigger girls that can block and have hits.
And you heard that, Brandon. Libero, she can't – am I correct in this, Coach? She can't hit it over the net, right?
She can set it over the net, but she can't cross that front line.
Okay. Yeah. So it's rules, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of rules. I learned a lot on the go.
So my little knowledge of volleyball, taking my courses in college, I took a coaching volleyball class.
Okay.
So now you're going to continue to teach me because I don't really remember much.
Did
but
you take
do
that
remember
at
that
Arkansas,
stat.
at Arkansas
I did.
State?
At Arkansas State. Yeah. I had a wonderful program learning, physical education and team sports and things like that. But I do remember that rule and, the setting and all that. But my volleyball experience comes from college, too, playing outside the dorm and just having a blast.
That's right. In the sand pit. Yeah. And volleyball is a sport that, all right, so my wife is from Lawrence County. She grew up going to Crooked Creek Baptist Church, a little small church down from the GP mill there in New Hebron. And she would talk about how they would play volleyball. The little church playground there has multiple volleyball nets. And like our buddy Jamie Palmer, she would talk about they would, just like in Lincoln County, we played church league softball. in church league basketball, they would play church league volleyball over there. So there have been some folks that maybe were aware, but like you said, Kat, there's just a lot of nuance to it. And so you've been learning, and the girls have been learning. Have there ever been any moments where you're in a game and you learn something new, like in the actual match?
Oh, 100%. Early start of last season, I'm pretty sure every match after the game I would be like, okay, so explain that to me again.
Yeah.
And you talked about Mr. Ben Seals earlier. He's helped me a lot. He was like, call me anytime you need, and he probably regretted doing that.
Our buddy Ben is a volleyball official. He goes around and calls a ton of matches. And well, look, you knew. I think one cool thing about your situation last year, Coach, is you knew that you were inheriting this group of girls who were good athletes in so many other different sports. You had good softball players, you had good soccer players, you had good basketball players. Talk to me about how that team really came together. Did it help that they were just such a close group off the court?
Yes. So my senior class of last year and my junior class, they were very close. And I think it helps. Like, I can sit here and teach them and pour into them all I want, but they really bought in early on that volleyball could be something special. It's something they really enjoy. They've come to love it. And I just think that team chemistry with each other on the court and off the court has really helped us.
Yeah, and I saw great feedback from folks in the community telling other people on social media, like, hey, come watch our volleyball girls. They're really good. They're really fun to watch in that first year. My sister Katie, who takes pictures for us for Y'all Sports, she absolutely fell in love with it. She wanted to be out there every weeknight that you guys were playing against folks like Franklin County, North Pike, which is another exciting thing, right, is, you know, a lot of schools around here are just getting volleyball rolling, so it kind of feels like we're all in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
And that I got a question there. So when did it come about, like as far as the bringing the volleyball program to Loyd Star? I mean, was that something that was like district or superintendent? You know, how did that work?
Well, it's kind of a Title IX thing, actually, because the volleyball sits in a part of the calendar that slow pitch softball used to sit. And so when the MHSA went away with slow pitch softball, you're sitting there saying to yourself, well, what's something that we can provide for our female athletes that will get girls involved in that season? And volleyball was a natural choice.
So what are other schools doing who don't have volleyball yet? Or they're just kind of sitting in limbo with one girl sport, one lady sport that could potentially be. I guess some schools are picking up golf, maybe women's golf.
Yeah, and some had already
played. Loyd
played.
Star's got some outstanding lady golfers.
Yeah. So right now we've got locally we've got Loyd Star and Bogachita that play volleyball. Bogachita started maybe a year ahead of y'all, right? And then. No, they start at the same time? Yeah, started at the same time. That's right. That's right. My bad. Wesson has been playing about 5 years, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Brookhaven's been playing about 5 years. Lawrence County's been playing about 6 years. But this is a fun fact because I got an email about this. This isn't Loyd Star's first volleyball experience. In the early 90s, they played volleyball for a couple of years, and then it just kind of went away. Yeah. And they even back in the early 90s, they were playing people like the old Byram Attendance Center that became Terry, and so it feels like we talked about this with Coach Anna Nelson. It feels like we're a little bit behind, but there's a lot of hunger and there's a lot of interest. Are you seeing that, Kat, like in your younger grades too? Like, tell me about your roster going into this second season.
So last year we actually only had a high school team, a JV and varsity. And then I had a lot of younger parents, 6th grade parents, reach out to me and be like, hey, are you going to get a junior high team? And was really persistent on it. And we actually are going to have a junior high team this year. So we'll have junior high, JV, and varsity coming up into this.
That's awesome.
Well, and that's surprising knowing that, probably the parents of those junior high team players had never played.
Right.
And so, but that it's a testament to you and the great job that you're doing, because they're like, hey, we want our youngsters involved in this too, because when they get to high school, they'll benefit from being involved at a younger age. And so great job with that. And I am really surprised there's that much interest at a young age.
Yeah, well, we talked to Anna Nelson about that, about how the fact that, in the places where volleyball is super popular because of like club and travel teams and things, that they play them really young. They get involved really young. So, we're sitting here at 2026 and we know 8, 9, 10-year-olds that are involved in travel softball. Who's to say not in a decade we won't have local kids playing travel volleyball, right?
Maybe even sooner.
Yeah. That's the hope. Grow the game.
Yeah.
Grow the game of grow the game of volleyball. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep. Hey man, I'm dumb. We're gonna keep talking about volleyball, and we will talk a little bit of softball because she is a softball coach as well. When we get back for another segment with our buddy Coach Cat Wilson here on Y'all Sports Radio. Don't go anywhere.
Good Hope Land and Timber is a full-service land and timber company that offers years of experience in forestry and land management. Our services include timber and land purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting. Our company has an experienced logging force that is trained according to the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Give Sam Ballard a call at 601-669-5999 for all your timber harvesting and land management needs.
Exciting news, Brookhaven. Juan Seed Store has a fresh start under new ownership. Meet Guy and Paige Nelson, who are thrilled to welcome you to our fabulous new location at 636 Greenview Trail. At Juan Seed Store, we're not just about seeds. Discover a wide range of top-quality feed, seed, and everything you need for your outdoor adventures. Explore our expanded selection of gardening essentials, pet supplies, and outdoor gear. It's a whole new experience waiting for you. Juan Seed Store, more than just a seed store. Visit us today and see the difference at 636 Greenview Trail in Brookhaven.
All right, we're back on Y'all Sports Radio. I'm Cliff Burr, the Y'all and Y'all Sports, joined as always by my friend and co-host Brandon Shamatara, and we've got Coach Cat Wilson, volleyball head coach at Loyd Star, in with us, and we're talking about how it is, whether you know it or not, folks, it's getting close to volleyball time here in Southwest Mississippi. Cat, when's your first regular season match?
Well, we'll go to Brookhaven High this Saturday, and we'll play in a jamboree. We'll face North Pike and Bogachita, I'm pretty sure. But our first regular season game will be August 3rd at Loyd Star, and we'll play Brookhaven.
Okay, yeah, great. My buddy Bertha Williams, she just took over the Brookhaven High program. We got Coach Austin Hood at Bogachita. I saw last year around this time, Austin was talking about how he was wanting to go down to Southwest and get with that coaching staff and do some learning from them. And you talked about how off air you had a couple of your girls just go to a Co-Lin ID camp. And when we had Coach Anna Nelson from Co-Lin on a couple weeks ago, we were talking about that. Like, hey, doesn't it excite you that there are these opportunities for these girls that were not there when you were coming up? Yeah.
I just actually met Coach Anna yesterday. She's awesome. She's invited us to watch their scrimmage, that they'll have a blue and white scrimmage later on in August, and it's been really cool to get to know her, and she's really big on pouring into the community around her, so I'm excited to work with her. She'll come to us next week, actually, and we'll do a camp with her.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be great. College coach can teach your girls some technique and technical things that maybe they didn't realize, and so that's so exciting. And look, last year you guys at Bogachita played some great matches. You and Wesson. I mean, do you feel bad? Do you get nervous when you're playing? Because I know you love Wesson.
I did, and I love Coach Nunnery. She was my coach for my whole high school, 7th through 12th grade softball. But she loves me, and we have a good relationship.
You are very tight. Yes. Her. You're a Loyd Star Hornet for sure, but there's a little snake inside of her. There is. And your brother just graduated from Wesson, right?
Yes.
What's he doing next year?
He plans to go to Co-Lin and start his major in electrical engineering.
Okay. What's your sister doing now?
She is at Southern, and she's going into her senior year in speech pathology.
And we're talking family here. How's your dad's health?
He's doing good. He's in remission. He's back at work. He's
Wow.
pretty much back to his everyday normal.
Battled. Your dad Albert
blessing.
battled a really serious cancer diagnosis
Yes.
not too long ago. A lot of folks were praying for him. The softball team out at Loyd Star and Weston as well did some stuff to commemorate and to acknowledge him. Look, you are you're a softball coach as well. Talk to me about your role in that staff with Coach John Smith. You're in charge of pitchers and catchers, right?
Right. I work with them a lot, and I really just fill in wherever him or Coach Kaylin needs me to. We have a lot of young girls, a lot of young pitchers coming up that I'm excited to get in the rotation and see how they can fit in this role this year.
One more year getting to call pitches for Layla Burt, though.
Oh, I know. I love her.
Yeah, that's.
I think me, her, and Kaylin are a very well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I kind of
We do
know.
a lot of work together.
Yeah, that's right. Kaylin told us, maybe that you're kind of hard on catchers, but
Hey, I was a catcher.
that's right. But hey, it paid off because
It does.
Kaylin Hester accepted a scholarship offer from Southwest this week. Excited for her. Is she your manager for volleyball?
She is. I actually have a few.
Okay.
Going back to talking about the stats,
Uh-huh.
you may see 4 or 5 managers, but they all have a job. They're all keeping track of something. I've actually have her, Ava Herring, who's our first baseman, Addie Holcomb, who's our left fielder.
That's right.
And then one other girl, Alicia Loyd. She's a basketball manager, but she'll be helping with volleyball this year.
And so stats like kills, which is when you hit a shot that goes for a point, right?
Yes.
All right. Then do you keep up with digs?
Yes.
Digs when you go down and
Yes.
basically dig the ball
Honestly, anything you can think of, we're trying to keep up with.
up. Okay. Yeah. And then when you set somebody up with a good set, is that considered an assist?
Yes.
Man, I'm learning. You're learning.
I had no doubt in my mind that you knew all these things.
No, well, when I write about it right now, I speak in general terms for myself and for my readers.
Yeah.
But when I go and I'm like you said, Kat, if you don't have those assistants, there's no way Joe Blow can sit in the bleachers and be like, Matty Kate's got this many kills because it's such a fast-paced game.
And speaking of family and assistants, my sister Juliana is actually going to be my assistant this year.
There we go. There we go. Did Speech Path, do you think she's got a little coach in her future? Or?
I hope so, but if you ask her, I don't think that's her path. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping this season may rub off on her a little bit.
Or she gets bit by it, and then she can't. Like when you were a Puckett and you got bit by it, and you can't shake it. And you just want to be a coach, want to be involved. Well, look, hate to put you on the hot seat, but Brandon hits our guest with the Brandon Shamatara State Farm Insurance hot button issues. The quick round of questions. He's got some here for you, Coach. So get strapped in, Brandon. Take it away.
Here we go, rapid fire. We're going to start easy, being that we're still in the summer. I know that you're cranking up for season, so this really isn't your vacation time. But beach or mountains?
Beach, 100%.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Look at that tan on her. She beach all the way.
Yeah. All right. So, tell me this: do you have a player? Or let me say it like this: the player on your team that would make the best coach in the future?
I'm not going to go player, but I'm going to go manager.
Yeah.
Kaylin Hester.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
What's your biggest pet peeve while at practice or in a game?
Probably, this is going to sound crazy, but trash. Like the girls, they know that I'm very, I want
The
everything
little
to look
things.
good.
It's the little things.
Make sure our gym looks good. Trash is picked up. Pick up after yourself. We're always going to leave it better than what we came in with.
In one word, describe this year's team.
I'm going to say resilient.
What's your biggest strength heading into this season?
I'm going to the commitment they've put in this summer. They've put a lot of work in. We've had working on our strength, getting faster, and they've really just committed to wanting this season to be better than last season and just continue to grow every day.
Tell me a couple of players that the fans should keep their eyes on whenever they come to a game this year.
Maya Wyant, she's our libero. I'm telling you, I don't know how she even makes contact with half the balls that she saves for us. Maddie.
She'll be a college athlete. She's got multiple offers to play soccer. I'm going to steal this from you, Maddie Kate Britt.
Yes.
I mean, what can't she do?
Right. just let me say something real quick. We talk about volleyball being the only girl sport, really. So I get all of the athletes, whereas like in basketball and soccer, they're kind of split up. I have literally all of the athletes. That's pretty awesome. But I'd also say Samantha Reed, Layla Burt, Kenzie Kay, Lofton, Cheney Williford, pretty much my whole starting 6 to 7 girls.
All right, last question. Why should everyone come out and support your volleyball team this year?
If you come out, you're going to see a group of girls that just have a big heart for the game, for their community, for each other. We've really worked hard this off season, this summer season, and you're just going to see a lot of girls that are having fun and loving the game.
And you should see your biggest improvement from year 1 to year 2, right? So a lot to be excited about.
A lot to be excited about. Y'all Sports is going to be there. If you can come and watch volleyball, I highly recommend it. I think all it takes is to go to one match and to see the energy that surrounds the game, and you will be absolutely hooked like the folks at Loyd Star have been. They got a little taste, second-round playoff appearance in the first year of the program, and now they're thinking state championship. Why not us? West Union, you heard us. They're coming for you. It's just been a lot of fun to see the growth. And Kat, I'm gonna brag on you for a second. You've had a big part of that, right? You're a competitor. You're somebody that wants to do well in everything you do. And so if you're going to be coaching the team, you want the team to look a certain way, play a certain way, and represent you and Loyd Star in a certain way. Can't wait for Loyd Star volleyball. And we're saying all these nice things about her, not just because she brought us T-shirts, but because she understands what it takes. Kat, what are you, 24? 24 years old, but she understands the price that has to be paid every day in practice and how that shows off in games. The games are like a vacation for her girls, I'm sure. Puts them through the paces every day. So that's our buddy, Coach Kat Wilson. She is the Loyd Star volleyball coach. You can find Y'all Sports at Loyd Star Volleyball coming up here very soon. We're your source for coverage of everything Southwest Mississippi. Kat, thanks for joining us today, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, we come back. Brandon and I will wrap it up next on Y'all Sports Radio.
Looking for the perfect, unique gift? Visit Juan's Seed Store at 636 Greenview Trail in Brookhaven. Discover our stunning waxed amaryllis bulbs. Simply place and watch them grow. Soy lotion candles from Waveland Candle Company provide an eco-friendly clean burn and provide a moisturizing scented lotion when burning. Sippy Scents out of Pearl has created the most intense fragrances for detergents, cleaners, room sprays, and oils. Shop these selections and more today at Juan's Seed Store.
Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call Sam Ballard today at 601-669-5999. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
All right, we're back on Y'all Sports Radio. I'm Cliff Furr, the Y'all and Y'all Sports, joined as always by my friend and co-host Brandon Shamatara. Brandon, that's one cool thing about covering high school athletics in Southwest Mississippi for the last decade, like I have, is you see these kids when they're growing up and they're playing, and you can spot the ones that something about catchers, right? Kat was a catcher. Quarterbacks, point guards, those are the ones that have to communicate with a coach so much, and they make natural coaches. And as you could hear just in the way that she carries herself, Kat Wilson's just a natural coach.
Oh man, just when that catcher position is typically a natural leader on the team, and everybody kind of rallies around them in the pitcher, and so there's a lot to be said about her being 24 years old and leading this volleyball team for the second year.
Yep.
And I'll tell you this, age is just a number as it pertains to what she's doing at Loyd Star. Just an outstanding job. The girls have rallied around her. She's got a good group of girls, and I'm excited about this season and what the Hornets are going to do.
Yeah, I've been in football mode right here. I've been, like I was saying earlier on our first segment, that I've gone around. I'm almost about to check off all of the local football programs, and I just want to see them in their preseason. But then I'm going to be doing a lot of early season volleyball stuff, and it's something that it's so much fun on a weeknight. I've written about this before, but when I'm covering sports, I want to see good games. I don't want to go watch blowouts. I mean, it's not. You just get there and you're like, well, what am I going to say about this? One team, scored a bunch, the other team didn't.
Sure.
And so, with volleyball being new for everybody, it really creates like these competitive balance where, if I'm going to go watch Brookhaven, and it's fun, like I've seen some historic stuff watching Brookhaven High, which is geographically the closest school to me. I mean, when they get their first win, the way that just or like the first set. I think I was at a match once where they won like their first set, and it was like people are like running up and down the bleachers high-fiving, but it's like
no, we're not done.
Yeah. But it's a pretty steep learning curve.
Oh, it is.
Because, and I was asking one of the officials, because a lot of people like calling it, Brandon, because if it is a one-sided match, you can be in and out of that mug in no time.
Yeah, easy money.
Easy money.
And that was something, if we had another segment with Catwood, I was going to ask her is, not only how are you training your team and educating your team, but then how are you educating the parents, because that's another, it's kind of like, well, our kids know what to do, but I don't have any idea what's going on out there.
Yeah, I've seen that too, Brandon. I actually have seen some of the county schools that added soccer.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, I was actually reffing soccer at that time. And if anybody made contact with the ball, like I'm not talking about shots on goal. I'm just talking about like kick it to the other end.
Yeah.
Man, some of those fans just get up and they scream like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. Well, that sounds like how Europeans. When something good happens, I mean, it's so loud at a soccer, according to the TV. Speaking of that, who won, Spain or Argentina?
Spain won. It was in overtime, and Spain got a goal.
Wow.
Argentina was down a man after they had a player sent off, and if you watch that, local.
I watched half, and I missed the rest.
Yeah, local soccer fans, if you watch that, or you watched England and France in a thrilling third place game that went 6-4 the way of the three lines. Who won that? I think France. Did France win that? I don't know, man. I'm not Prince
Who won,
Smith. I'm not
Randy?
Josh Isles.
Randy's grabbing his
I know
phone.
who won the 100 Years' War between France and England. I could talk about that all day long, but I don't know who won the soccer match. Look, if you watch that, England won 6-4. That's right. If you watch that though, there wasn't balls in the air. They play that thing on the ground. It's possession. There's so much skill, and it goes back to a lot of people were talking this week, and they were saying like, hey, what if our best players only played soccer? What if Justin Jefferson only played soccer? And we're getting to see what if here in Southwest Mississippi, we're getting to see what if our best girl athletes that maybe don't know much about volleyball, what if they play volleyball, and how's that work out? And when we had Coach Anna Nelson on, she talked about the first local signee was a Loyd Star kid, Micah Claire Lowe. She's on the team right now. And Colin had an ID camp. I know Southwest has had an ID camp recently. Southwest signed a local player, Addie Ray Pennington. And I would go watch last year, Brandon, and even though I don't know a whole lot about volleyball, when I watched Addie Ray Pennington serve at Lawrence County, when I watched her serve at Lawrence County and I watched how high her feet were off the ground, I'm like, well, that looks good. Or the way it boomed off of her hand, I mean, you don't have to
kind of like a kicker's foot and the ball. When you see a great kicker, that ball sounds like it's exploding off of the tee or the ground.
Or like a golf shot.
Yeah.
If you hit a ball, it sounds a little bit different than when I hit a ball.
Well, that's not saying much. But way different than our man Zach Smith, who is just an outstanding golfer at the local country club. And so my ball and his ball sound totally different.
Zach's a guy who played college golf and then came back home to dominate the
he's
course
been club champion 3 out of the last 4 years. And the reason he wasn't the fourth year is because he didn't play.
Did I see Don Coleman win the Super Senior championship?
Coach,
or maybe not the Super Senior, maybe just the Senior. Shout out to Don Coleman.
Yeah.
That guy. If you see him, and Don and I live on the same street, and
love the energy.
If he's not getting his golf clubs out of the back of his Honda, then something's going on, because
a lot of fun, super encouraging. And so back to the education piece. All right, so you were mentioning as soccer was being introduced, and some of the parents and how having to educate them. I mean, that's a big deal, because if you don't know what's going on, well, the only people that are going to be in the stands are going to be the parents, and so. I don't know the right way. I mean, do you send out YouTube videos, or video yourself? Hey, fans, this is Coach Cat Wilson, and this is considered a spike.
Well, Cat is she's having a scrimmage. She said they're having like a glow in the dark scrimmage thing, a fun thing for her girls on Thursday. And that is a chance for parents to come and watch.
Come learn the game.
They talk. I usually sit in the bleachers. I don't sit in the press row whenever I'm at a volleyball game. I usually sit in the bleachers, and you can hear.
Not a bad seat in the house. Yeah. Actually, the higher you are, to an extent,
the better it is for picture taking.
Picture taking, and when that ball gets put up in the air on a set or a save, it's eye level a lot of times, and it's just a cool place to watch.
And it's tough. My sister learned this taking pictures, because everybody's constantly moving. The ball's moving quickly. And, I was talking, not only are our fans learning, and our coaches are learning, our players are learning about the game in Southwest Mississippi, but the officials are learning as well. She talked about Ben earlier. My buddy Russ Brett also does some volleyball officiating. And I was talking to a veteran official that's been calling it for a long time. And he said, well, look, it's one thing to call this Loyd Star Bogachita game. He said it's another to go call Brandon and Oak Grove because of the speed of the game.
And it's just such a bigger pool to pull from.
Yep.
While Coach Cat does gets access to pretty much all the ladies, well, it's still a smaller pool than the bigger schools. Yep. And that's just across the board, football, baseball, whatever it may be.
And it goes back to the whole thing that Anna Nelson talked to us about, is like club, volleyball, and how big it is in our major metropolitan areas in Mississippi. If you're on the coast, if you're in the Jackson metro, if you're up around DeSoto County, then you're getting these opportunities to play year-round volleyball, and I think that really is coming for our girls. Maybe somebody listening to this right now, Brandon, hearing this, they say, hey, I got a daughter that loves volleyball. I'm going to get dialed in, and we're going to get a club team. You see it with AAU all the time, like where there's like a dad who, he knows his daughter loves the game, wants to work, get some friends together, and they get an AAU team together. So maybe we're going to see Brandon Shamatara State Farm sponsored volleyball team.
Well, I'd be happy to support any of them. But I laughed just a second ago because on our vacation that we were just hanging out with a lot of friends from our hometown. We're camping out at Enid Lake, and they came out to visit and eat supper and all. Anyway, my buddy's daughter is actually pretty tall, and she loves softball. And, of course, he wants her to play basketball, all right? But she just, you could tell she doesn't really know a ton about basketball and doesn't really love it. And I looked at him and I said, of course, we're outside at the lake. And even though it was nighttime, we were still sweating. Like, if I didn't have a hat on, sweat was just poured into my face, right?
Yeah. Because we don't have hair to catch it.
And so I said, hey, buddy, did you tell her that basketball is played inside?
That's right.
And the same thing for volleyball. It's played inside.
That's right.
And so you're out of the elements. You can always practice. You can always play. Love that. I know that sounds soft to me, but
hey, man.
Hey, it matters.
Shout out to air
I'm not
conditioning.
saying don't play outside sports, but also do.
Yeah. Shout out to air conditioning.
Look, greatest invention ever made.
Yeah, some friends of mine went to Europe during the heat wave, and they said, "Listen, you got to understand this. You get over there, they've got no AC. So when it's 100 degrees over there, and you're eating in a restaurant, and it's 105 degrees in Paris, it'll make you wish to be back in Lincoln County real quick, because you're like, and then also they don't put ice in their drinks.
Yeah.
So you're just over there drinking room temperature water in a 100-degree restaurant. Man, people need to go. They need to travel. They need to experience things, and they need to realize how good we have it.
Oh man, it's. I've been to other countries.
Yeah.
And I've been to. Look, this is the greatest country, even though we didn't win the World Cup. All right. So
hey,
we're on our way.
We'll get that thing eventually. Yeah. We'll get that thing eventually. We ace every test. Sometimes we just have to study a little bit, longer for it. Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, they don't want to play us in American football.
Oh,
all right.
Whoa, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, in talking about like sharing athletes, all right. So, I always thought, what if NBA players went out for receiver? Well, you've seen some, all right, who have made transitions and maybe weren't the greatest basketball players, like Antonio Gates.
That's right. Hall of Fame NFL player.
I mean, but you take a LeBron. And I'm not a LeBron fan, but he's a freak athlete.
He's
always
a
has
freak
been,
athlete,
and was a great wide receiver on his high school team. But with the right coaching and the training, world class. I mean, you think about it. They have the best agility. They can jump out of the gym and are just big bodies and super tall. Nobody's going to compete with that.
And look, this is maybe an idea for a future show. Get my buddy Brendan Smith on, because they talked about after the World Cup, what do we need to do as a country? And there is a whole idea of pay to play. If you're the best players in soccer in America traditionally, you have to have a family that are taking you to these ODP camps and things like that. And there's this whole idea of like, hey guys, we're America. Let's put some money in the pool and let's go out and let's search the inner cities. Let's search the rural back roads of America, and let's find the best players, not the players who have the best mama and daddy. But hey, that's a Y'all Sports Radio for another day. We could talk about that because we got some folks that have had some local experience with that on the statewide level. But hey, it was a fun conversation today with Coach Cat Wilson. We're talking volleyball at Loyd Star. And if you want to keep up with Loyd Star volleyball, you make sure you check out Y'all Sports on Facebook, because we are your source for everything athletics in Southwest Mississippi. He's Brandon Shamatara. I'm Cliff Furr. And until next time on Y'all Sports Radio, I'll see you on the sidelines of Southwest Mississippi.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.